Alright, we're live. Hi everyone, all four of my subscribers. That's right, since the last time I uploaded, it's been a while, hasn't it? Someone actually subscribed to me, which is nice. It's exciting. Anyways, today, I want to do the MSQ for patch 6.1, because I haven't done it yet, and I'm really excited to, and I want to do it. I gotta unlock the dungeon, gotta unlock the trial, or not the trial, the Alliance raid. And so there is a lot of stuff that we need to do, and I don't know if I have a ton of time today, but we'll see if I can do it. Okay, we gotta go to Mordona. Gotta go to Mordona and pick up the quest, and then we will be going. I'm excited. No. Okay, fine. We'll run in. I'm gonna need to swap to my white mage here. I've been leveling up some sage. It's been super fun, but white mage is the only class I have that actually has like the gear and stuff that I'm probably gonna need. Okay, newfound adventure. Let's go. Tataru's putting on a pot of tea and looks in need of company. Let's go. Lyra, how lovely to see you. If you're not in too much of a rush, I was about to make a pot of tea. Would you like a cup? Yes. Take a seat then, and I'll find us something to nibble on as well. Movie time! Already! Oh shit. Let me turn off G-Shade so that it doesn't stutter too much. Stream might be having a bit of a problem. Look at us, drinking tea, eating snacks. Just having a good time. That shadow could look a lot better, but whatever.
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around.
Movie time.
Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand. I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors. Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you? Any plans for the immediate future?
A grand new adventure, of course. I love going on adventures.
Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you.
Ooh?
You fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats.
And?
For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while? Acquit yourself as a simple adventurer again, and travel the world in search of wonder.
What is wrong with your nose there, Tataru? Do all of us have, like, non-existent noses like that? That was weird. Who knows what mysteries are still waiting to be discovered? Emmett Silk went and told us about, like, 3 or 4 different things we could go do. So, let's go do those things.
Oh, that's the spirit! I can feel from here the blazing fire that just lit in your belly.
Adventure time!
Now, all you need is a destination. If you're having trouble deciding, just leave it to me.
Yeah, where do we go next? What are we doing?
Thavnair. That's where you should go next.
But we've been to Thavnair.
I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzat the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Ritra would be pleased to see you.
I mean, that's true.
Then there's the bounty itself. The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Yeah, see? It's what Emmett Suck told us.
Have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
Yeah, see? He gave us a list of things to go check out.
As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world.
Let's do it. Let's take it on.
In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress.
I love Tataru's clothes. They're always like
Shouldn't take
super
much
good.
longer now though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
New glam, new glam. Make sure it has pockets. You're the best, Tataru. Aw, take a picture of that. That's cute.
Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care.
Was that all the song that we get? No more
Just a
song?
little more to go. I'm sure
Aw.
you're still brimming with excitement. I am one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims.
Look at Tataru doing Weaver Savage over here.
Don't worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across.
I feel like that's Yoshi P complaining about us demanding more glamour space and...
Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
I feel like this is just just the devs working on fashion directed at the player. But what's going on here? Is this like the Aerie? Or is this on the first? Or is this an Elpis? Oh, this is the this is like the Alliance raid, isn't it? I haven't seen anything about the Alliance raid, but this feels like it could be it. Is that Xenos?
And thus I am returned.
Spooky music! Newfound adventure. Look at that! We get like a title drop! Did the other patches have title drops like that? Like the 0.1 patches? I don't think they did. That's because this is like a new patch, isn't it? Because 6.0 was the end, so this is like the start of like the next patch. That's right, so... How interesting. Oh, hi there.
Ah, you're awake.
It's the Skyrim thing! She said the Skyrim thing! Ah, you're finally awake. The translators have to have known that... except they would have made it... They would have made her actually say the line,
apologies. Right? I do get a little carried away with my sewing.
I feel like that was an intentional Skyrim joke.
You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga? Either way, I promise to provide you with new apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
Tataru, I don't have any more glamour space. What am I supposed to do with new armor when there's no space? It is tradition to get a new armor set for a new patch, isn't it? Where's the Diamond Forge? I assume it's somewhere here in Mordona. Oh, yeah, okay. Sonar mounts. That whale is just too big. Diamond Forge. No napping this time? Well, there better be no napping. You better just get right on it, Tataru. Ooh. Is Scream ready for a bold new adventure? Yeah, that's not a bad armor set. Good gloves, nice boots. Is it dyeable? It's got a cape. Yeah, that's honestly not bad. So what do I owe you? I know I don't owe you anything, Tataru. I think though I'll ask that you wear this on your travels. Oh, I will. Except this glam looks a lot better on my white mage right now. Or at least anywhere lots of adventures may gather. To look at you, a famous hero, and wonder, where did she purchase such those... Where she purchased those stylish yet practical garments? And before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders at Taru's boutique. I can hear it now. The merry clink clink of gill overflowing from my coffers. Sweet music to my ears. Oh, it's not gonna get, it's gonna just give him all cover. Oh, it even has like jewelry, huh? Okay, so it's a body, hands and feet. Wayfarer's necklace. Okay. Okay. Well, I think it looks pretty good. Burgeoning merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a fresh chapter of your life. New places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start doing just that. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant, or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better part of the past decade. Something to keep in mind in any case. Is this like a hint that they're gonna like do like a Final Fantasy 14 2 and like rebuild the game in a new engine with a new story, and we're just gonna have forgotten everything from the past? Is that what that's hinting at? Because that's kind of what it sounds like it's hinting at. Collection expanded, the unending codex. Oh, is this an explanation for this? So it's on the final days. Tataru. Okay. You entries or permanent terms and characters will be added to the codex as you progress through the MSQ. This is the journal and lore collection thing. But what else was I gonna say? Like, weren't they saying that they might make this like a start-on spot? So like if new players join the game, they don't want to play through the Heidel and Zodiac arc, then they can go and they can just start from here or from the next patch or sometime around here. If they don't want to have to go through all the old content, they just kind of want to jump into the new stuff, because that also might be part of it. Anyway, Bountiful Ruins, let's go. As the former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of the Scions, allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumors to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best places to pick up information are taverns and markets. At present, you only have a broad destination in mind. When you arrive in Thavner, I suggest you explore your options at Marin's Mayond, the finest drinking establishment in Radzatan. Charm the employees, and they'll not only point you in the direction of the local tale tellers, but also share with you the tricks for loosening their tongues. Now, I really must be getting back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Lyra, and may fair fortune find you. Alright. So we need to go to Yeah, Rods at Han. Dun, 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 dun. Rods at Han, okay. Okay, and then we go up to here. Is this a sightseeing point that I missed? Ooh, this is new. The main foreign visitors are often entranced by the stage for the movies. Okay, that was cool. Neat. Wait, I've talked to this barmaid before, haven't I? What turns me on? I'm not gonna try to pronounce that name right. Oh, hello. I didn't recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. Actually, I need the scoop on the lore on gossip. Ruins beneath the bounty? Would you be speaking of the sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you all about it. Ah, there he is, Professor Jaheen. I thought I saw him come in. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for the Mayon's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should happily share everything he knows about the vault you seek, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy for him is on the house, by the way. If Marion found out I took coin from Thavner's savior, she would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Okay. Yes. Following events cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending. We're gonna get like a big talking cutscene then? What's gonna happen? Oh, it's probably like a choose your own, like it's like a win their favor over game. And what can I do for you, my Yozin friend? Just a friendly chat. How about a drink? Oh, I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. Here we are, one of Marin's finest. Enjoy! Ah, lovely. Bottoms up. That gulping ASMR. Jaheen empties a cup in a single pull. That is very kind of you, miss, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it you want from me? I want to know about the bounty. Oh, chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurous at heart. Now where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Al-Zadal? He was Khan of the Auri tribe which sailed to Thavner from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Radzat Han. His decision to aid the Arxador is what ultimately won them the war against the Gadrasura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. The truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Alzal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Radzat Han's early days. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches. Others said he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. Then there is the tale of the sunken vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Al-Zadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he's built a structure, reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzat Han, folk would remember the tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim the fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I have a slight tickle in. Oh, my cup appears to be empty. Another round for the professor. see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the professor. Oh, today was a splendid day to visit the Mayan. Jolene gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Ah, yes, those who did return from seeking the treasure vault Flattery refused to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama's a fellow connoisseur of spirituous potables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear. But he did have... no, I can say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words sent you to your death, I could never live with myself. I'm no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? Well, let me tell you. Remember the final days? The very edge of existence? From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it. But I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves. Milio, more of the same if you please. As you wish, but this one is on your coin, Professor. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Jolene drains yet another cup dry. He's looking kind of sloshed there. He's gone too far, he's no longer helpful. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of Azama's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map. One which showed the way to the entrance of the vault. Seems he could only get it from some merchant. What's his name? I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my friend, my new best friend. Milio, more drinks! Signal for water instead. Wink. Wink. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. I'm parched. Gulps down a cup of water. That was water. Did you tell her to bring me water? Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of words of Master Jarjan. Be wary of how much of the drink you swallow, lest it swallow you. Forgive me, I will subject you to no more of these unseemly antics. If you want to speak with Azama, well, as I said, we share a taste for the Mayan's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. If you were to avoid all the joy and has a share guard in the undersea vault to find out more, you'll need to locate a man by the name of Azama. I think I see him right there. He's got a big symbol on top of his head. Makes it pretty easy to find. Marion has a quest. That sounds like a fun one to do sometime. Yes, I'm Azama, and who might you be? Boom, 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 boom. All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Al-Zadal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes. I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Al-Zal III's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend told me, how he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. Seems this merchant, one Zashal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route, but my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. But with what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the Bounty, and within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Alzadal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home. Aww. Gasp.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
There it is.
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
This guy voiced someone else. His voice is very familiar.
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the Bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly.
Seems kind of fishy.
This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. You're scrawny-eyed and never return with that treasure alive.
Ha 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 ha.
Faith, why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map. Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
Being all sneaky. Part of a ploy. Is he working with the merchant? Estinian? Is he gonna buy it? He's gonna do it, isn't he? Ooh, you see he's seen his mark.
Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
But is Estinian motivated by money? He doesn't know the value of money. Ooh, but he would want to help this boy.
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister.
Is he gonna fall into
never
their...
went for food.
Is he gonna fall for the mark? Is he gonna fall for it? He is, isn't he? He's too much of a cinnamon roll now.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
Ooh. Oh, they got him. No, Estinian! Hey, Estinian. Do you need a friend to go on this adventure with you?
Well met, my friend.
His clothes are so dirty.
Who's dressed for adventure?
That's probably because you're supposed to have Tataru's clothes on, but I'm not.
I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the Bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
Let's go.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me...
Oh, he's running away. He's conned us. He's conned
Mind
Justinian.
us.
No, the con man. He's running away. Don't let him go.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
Never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove.
It's true, we did do that. That's such a
Come now.
minor note.
You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits.
True. Probably just blab away.
Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant.
Yeah, okay, so Estinian isn't as thick-headed as I thought he might
Suppose his
be.
role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims.
As Estinian knew what was going on, huh?
Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
Aw, he's such a good guy.
You are coming along, yes?
Of course. Why wouldn't we, Estinian? Of course we're coming. Naturally. Of course we're coming along, Estinian.
I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
Doesn't Tataru own an airship? Can't we just take Tataru's ship? And we have so many, like, pirate friends and, like, city-state leader friends. Like, getting a ship should be the least of our problems. Does he, like, feel guilty about what he did? Does he not know who's going? There's probably no one better suited. Estinian's been added to the Unending Codex. Alright, let's go, Estinian. You will recall I spoke of visiting Thavnir at Vitra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast, and made his proposal once I was too full of Hunnish delights to refuse. He wishes me to train the Radiant Host in lance work. But that is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant, or a trawler with a ship fit for the open seas. Matsuya is a fisherman by trade, yes? We should head to Akiali and see if he can help us. We know so many people with boats or airships that can help us. Should be no problem to get a boat. Boom, 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 boom. Take off on my giant red robot. And we'll go see what we can find over here. Are you gonna take like a little dinky fishing boat? Probably not. I assume we're gonna take an actual boat. There's a Stinian. My friends, what brings you to our humble village? We need a boat. So you need a seaworthy vessel to seek out these ruins. Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here, and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Oh, he's following us, huh? You're gonna sneak on? Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. Oh, he's put his armor on, too. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah, it is you. Do you know how far out of our way we walked so that you'd not cross paths with some wild beast? Ah. I'm sorry, sir, but if you aren't the heroes who say... aren't you the heroes who saved Thavner? You are, I know you are. And I've gone and cheated you. I worked with the Shaw, you see, the map merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan, and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done, and beg for your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister and I would never have... well, we'd be... Enough. I knew your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. Yep, I'm looking for him. You are kind to overlook the wrong I have done you, but there's more you need to know. The map you bought is very real, as it is the island it shows. I overheard Zashal selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search, about the ruins, about the vault, about everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... Fine. You can invite our comrades. Now you've gone and made him cry. I did not... That was not my intention. That was not my intention. Oh, very well. Assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The Scions have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Oh, do we choose who comes with us into the dungeon? Let's see, we need a tank and another DPS. Y'shtola, I don't know. Just Y'shtola. She's so strong she can help us alone. Y'shtola? Her magics would be a welcome addition, aye, but I'm loath to interrupt her research. Mayhap we could ask a less prickly companion? Alfino and Alice, the twins! They're your favorites, Estinian. Little Lord Alfino and his sister, were they not bound for Garlemald? They have far more important matters to attend to than delving for trinkets. Grahan Cryo! Cryo may have her hands full rebuilding the students, but if you rejected Graha, he would surely leap at the invitation. Would that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is as strong as you... Is he, though? Strong, I mean? Yes. Oh, that was a good shot with the sun. I hope I caught it. What is your name, boy? Mehrad, sir. Well, Mehrad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do, but what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everybody's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. Bum, 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 bum. Food. I shall leave you to recruit Graha. He'll appreciate the invitation that much more, I'm sure. As I recall, he was based in the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you in the right direction. I'll just be off too, Morgana. Do me a favor and don't stray from the path. About does the Annex. Okay, let's return to Old Charlian. Phew. Look, it's Mint D! Hi, Mint. Ethan, Baldezian Annex. Then we come up here. Andrika Sunjika! Oh, look who it is! Welcome back, Wyra! What might the students do for you? I must speak with Graha. Graha? Oh no, what? All good? He's in the main hall. I think we're all good. Okay, that's a weird lag spike. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break. Is this voiced? I bet it is.
Urgika, my good man. Would you be so kind?
Guess who it is?
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
What are the two of you working on?
Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Fowl.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around?
I did come all this way just to watch you do that.
The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition.
I mean, I know Graha's down. He's down for anything.
I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which, I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
Look at her little pixelated nose. Oh, look at him! He wants to go so bad!
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
He wants to go so bad!
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
He's so excited, look at him!
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along?
I mean, Estinian's gonna be
Might I
there.
suggest we invite your Stola?
That was my idea. Estinian said no.
Ever since the Scions disbanded, she's spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Google Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenor. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested
That's
to hear.
true. They say he went to other worlds.
Splendid. Then let us.
Does that mean
head
we're
to
gonna
the
go
archives
in and
at
we're gonna
once.
see some sort of like Vobert gold piece or something? Some sort of
Wait,
like
before you
treasure
go.
from the first?
I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger.
You gotta make it so you can fill out the
He
trust.
sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like. From what I can gather, the Loperites are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
The more the merrier.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Alright. Let's go get the squad.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
Okay. Okay, she is this way. Gorgeau. Oh yeah, there's Numa. I should have just like teleported over to this other aetheryte, huh? Puddingway! There he is! I guess my pudding wasn't needed to stop the final days after all. But I persevere. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. You do it, Puddingway. You make the best pudding ever. My name's Puddingway. Okay. Come on, where are you, Stola? Be way back here, huh? Oh, where some of these other people are. Are you, Stola? She fall asleep reading books. Oh, look at her snoozing.
I've never known your Stola to doze off in the middle of research before.
Shh. Don't wake her up. So just sit around and wait.
Close my eyes for one moment.
Oh, I think I missed that picture. Ah, that's too slow.
How long have you two been here?
Catching up on some light reading.
Something to that effect. I must have been studying for 2, 3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me. As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library.
I like that echo effect on the voices. That's really cool.
So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite.
You gotta
A
find her
daunting
cat
challenge
boy.
and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me? Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished.
Sounds like we have her convinced.
An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Right now.
At Chiali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
I should just left that pile of bugs that I guess they're like mammoths. But now he's gotta clean that all up. There's still a hide in the Reflections Crystal Tower. This is just like a clever way for them to just no, come on. There. Clever way for them to mention all these things from the past so they can add it to the lore codex. Oh, of course, I had to be the freaking gigantic whale mount. I need to go talk to you, right? Yes, take the lift. There we go. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, bum. I love the BBC. Art of Battle? You can't fly in here, huh? Punk, 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 punk. This looks like a long cutscene. There's a lot of people sitting here waiting. I will sit and listen.
Ah, our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure. I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
Wasn't Thancred with you?
He left to attend to some personal errand, but should be returning ere long.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperids had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I returned to offer mine own counsel.
Are the tides like not enough help? Do they need more?
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Cryle. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperids now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos?
We want to go find the ultimate treasure vault.
Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation.
I was in bow.
How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Oh, we're just going on a trip for fun.
Aye.
It's just like a
Though
vacation.
I cherish the Scion's accomplishments. 'Tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Istinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
Aw, Thancred!
All is well, I trust?
Is he coming too?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross.
Former mentor, huh? You're looking well.
That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather?
We're going on an adventure.
Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loperids.
Uh-huh.
Of course. And if you have a Stinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
Yeah, we can take him. Thancred can come.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, it is best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you
well,
come across
have fun,
any
Thancred.
interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
Okay. Man, they really just got me teleporting all over the place, huh? Rearrange to the codex. Use the ticket, yeah. Ooh, I like this one. If you guys listen to the Pulse remix for this song, it's pretty good. I'm gonna find circles a bit to listen to the song. Okay. Good song over. And you return with an entire survey party. I hope Matsu's boat is sturdy to carry us all. What he means is, we are grateful for the use of one of your precious fishing vessels. We are more than glad for the chance to provide it. I ask only that you take care to steer clear of the reefs and the shallows there. Aye, we will keep an eye out. Which food do I want? Tenacity, deterrence, skill speed. Which one? Spell speed, direct hit. I mean, what are some Alien pieces? Baked alien soup. No, it's alien, but it looks like alien soup. Popoto pancakes. Or Saigon salad. I like pancakes. I want big pancakes. Alright, Ystradahl, let's go. Azadal's Legacy. Is this the dungeon? This is very dungeony. We've got to trust together. So embarrassed that the tale of his journey to another world escaped my notice. Could it be more than simple folklore? And what are the treasure he's supposed to be brought back? The Undersea Vault may hold drugs from another reflection. My friends, we should temper our expectations. They mapped out the promised ruins, but beyond that, we know not what we will find. Not until we find it, aye. So let us dispense with the conjecture and set sail for the vault. Oh, you interrupted the hype music. Oh, it's also Legacy now available. Well, you gotta do it with a trust. Okay. Yeah, it's gotta be us then, huh? Because I would heal.
I stand ever ready.
Right then.
Victory will be ours. Victory, 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 victory will be ours.
Right there, 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 right there.
I stand ever ready. I stand ever ready.
That's too much fun. That is too much fun. Okay, register for duty. Let's go. Oh, this is pretty. Citadel's Legacy. Currency. So I'm not stacked up on anything, that's good. That's how authentic our map truly is. Well, let's kill these monkeys. You're mine! Right there will be fine. No, hold still. That. Easy. I need to double check something. So that's 150 to everyone, 310. So that's good for 3 or more. If it's down to 2, better to glare 3, huh? Okay. Oh. Graha, pull aggro.
Hold still.
This will hurt.
This will hurt.
Allow me.
That worked out pretty well. The Master of Passage opens the path forward. Invisibility spell removed, mayhap? Come on, Graha, go get him. Go get him! Oh, and the Stinians, gonna get him too, I guess. damage, keep doing damage. No one else is using AoE, so that's great. We'll just kill everything.
Hold still.
Hold still. This dungeon looks great. This is a very good, very fun dungeon. This is a pretty aggressive slide cast there, but I guess I got it. Boom.
This will hurt.
Some willies built up again. Was it boss time? That looks bossy to me. This eyesore bars our path. Well, let's unbar it then. Big wave.
Hold still.
Okay, that sounds like a bell spell. Oh! Okay, it's not too bad. I'm kind of figuring out how that works. There we go, we got it. Okay. I suppose I got real quiet there because I was thinking about the boss fight. Sorry, I didn't say anything. That was a cool boss though. Jellyfishy, some fun mechanics. Just materia? Salt encrusted teleporter, huh? Well, let's use it. Ooh, look at us go! Ooh, I think we're underground now. Glyph of passage detected, confirming bearer's identity. We're deep in the bounty. Cool, then our map was no fake after all. Look at that. That's cool. Also, I like how it had like a whale and stuff swim by. Very cool things. But there's another portal thing. Oh no, wait, that just looks like a monster. I probably got hit by that, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. Okay. This. Keep doing damage. Flares. More treasure! So just materia? Ooh, debar versatile casting. What item gear level are we looking at here? 575, huh? Got some 580 gear. So I'm good. Oh no! I recognize the ethereal signature. Brazen Thief, you'll proceed no further. Reinforcements? Gloves are up. Are they just gonna keep summoning dudes? Probably is, huh? Just gonna keep summoning reinforcements.
Something special for you.
Okay. So now I have a bunch of mobs we have to deal with. So you managed that just fine. Yeah, that was a cool boss because it's like, I feel like that's one where you want to kind of burst it down before you do all your AoE, so kind of interesting in that aspect.
This will hurt.
This will hurt. can start doing some glares on this guy. Try to make sure everything dies nice and quick. Treasure! Darbar necklace of slaying. Another one of these guys, huh?
This will hurt.
Yeah, see, I think bursting that down made this one easier. The last one I was trying to AoE, this one I just kept bursting down. This is definitely an easier time. Let's get some lilies charging up again. Some more glares. Alright, let's go. Ooh, this boss looks interesting. Armored chariot. Formidable looking foe. Be on your guard. Alright, well, if you say so, Graha. Give me another second there. Okay, so now that's popped. Let's go. Choom, 31k of Flawless Misery, huh?
Hold still.
Articulated Bliss. What's this do? 1, 2... Okay. See. That's cool. Some interesting mechanic. Fusion ray. Same damage really starts to hurt, huh?
Away with you!
I will end you. We are still just yelling at these guys. Blasting him. Wheel cannon. Hurts him a little bit. Not too bad though. them a little bit more. Hit him. There we go. Not too bad of a boss fight. That one was another fun one. The bar glows of aiming. So there are armor pieces in here, huh? Greed will prove your undoing. Ooh, this is looking like treasure. Should more than cover the price of the map. Mystic weapon. Those are monsters from the first, aren't they? So how much did you pay for it anyway? You know, Sidian, he's going to way overpay for everything. That's just how he is. Look at all this treasure! Whoa, where are you going, Graha?
Hold still.
This will hurt.
This will hurt. Knock the veil on him just to help out. I keep forgetting to use my lilies between monster poles. Got to increase or optimize. That's what I need to optimize my damage. There we go. Okay. I'm wasting resources. What other riches might this one vault hold? Also 12 acro with. Alright, so just fighting this one guy, huh? Not quite a boss, just kind of a big dude. Let's finish him off. There he goes. Look at all these treasure chests that we can't open. They're not even real. You just walk through them. Oh, I get it. See now what the ploy there was. Or there's only one big enemy. Because there are mimics! I guess now there's mimics in FF14. I don't think we had mimics before, but there they are. Let's keep hitting them with holy. Oh, I was in range of that? Come on. Was I really in range of that? That was a bit of overhealing there, but I think we'll be okay. GCD that. Popping some holies, some damage. Boom, bop, bada bop, boom. I'll just smack this. Ooh, cutscene time. Oh, that looks fun. Looming Wood and Kapikulu. That looks cool. Ah! What was I about to say? Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't made White Mage, because they've done this with so many other jobs. That you just kind of like start the fight with maximum gauge. I'm surprised they haven't made White Mage do that. I guess it's more of the jobs that will build up even outside of combat they've done that, so you don't have to wait pre-pull. Because White Mage only builds up in combat. I guess that's the difference. Wrapping the realm. Do I have anything to say? What is this oversized mammoth? I don't know, that's a good question. I see holes in the floor where spikes can come up. That's what I see. Billowing bolts.
Hold still.
Oh, this is kind of fun. Spinning dizzy. Crocodile on him. Blowing bolts. Come on, you Stola, get in the bubble. Power surge on green? What does that mean?
Allow me.
I'm gonna stand away from the green, I see. Rotary Gale.
Allow me.
Oh, ouch. No. Stay out. I imagine he can set different spikes, and that's part of the fun of his mechanics.
Allow me.
The Stola is not going to get in the bubble. I'll just have to heal her from out here. Okay, yeah, I imagine he can set different spike traps to go up, you know. Power on yellow. By green, huh? shovels and glares. There we go! GG, no V. Poof. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yay! And Ariandra just shows up, it's like, oh hello! Do they have fun things to say? Hidden room within a hidden vault. What is this place? You found all the treasure then? A fitting sentinel. And then we get map unfolds, orchestral, trousers of scouting, leave duty. Story time, more story time. Story time. Look at that throne. Ooh, what secret?
Have we here?
Yeah, okay, shh, I'll be quiet.
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Fashan? Oh, he knows what it is, huh? He knows what we're doing.
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our reunion. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the
Stini
truth.
just admitting, he's like, yeah, we're here for money.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
I mean, I'm sure he knows what it is.
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
I'm only gonna touch it, but you know you're Stola.
You and I will speak later.
Ooh, that stare.
Not the time for frivolity, my friend. Not the time.
I think it's exactly the time.
This something of which thou speakest, might it be some manner of threat?
Perhaps I should simply show you.
Ooh. Evil purple goo. Sealing away goo. Does she know what it is? That smirk says she knows.
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Ooh. Now I'm glad I did those Shadowbringers role quests. And it makes me kind of want to do the level 90 role quest as well, because I wonder if they also have to deal with the void. Much the same thing in practice, in the sense that both allow passage between the source and the 13th, the difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of their creation. Fissure is an incidental tear, whereas the void is a product of deliberate action. Suspect this is the latter, judged by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. To think our search for material riches would lead to this priceless discovery. Swirling emptiness, it puts in mind old friends, not to mention old foes. Okay, it's part of the trust now. Let's keep going. Let's learn more about the 13th. We already know some. We've been helping Unikalu and people on the 1st with it.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Merasidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death. So much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Yeah, he's like one of the first brood, isn't he?
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya. We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus, I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly, they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used the simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Radzat and abandoning your sister. You chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
I remember when Nero turned purple.
Turned purple? Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether. Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late.
Or is it too late? I bet we could do it.
And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection. So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Stella's thinking. She's thinking. She's got a plan. Ba-ba-ba. I not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the Guardians you so handily destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. Ah, my apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate Guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Radzatan. Oh, I can't like walk up there. Passage to Thafnir. Can you not teleport in here? Oh, maybe you can. Oh, you can. Yeah, okay, I'll just teleport right in. Chum. And then... which Aethernet do we want? Best off just running straight over. I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further. But first I must attend to the matter of the Vault's sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Capigulu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage, and see that it is conveyed to its post, along with some few lesser constructs. Was it tomb robbers? Fiends born of the Tower of Zot? By the sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy yet roams free. No, it was us. Look at us looking all guilty. Everyone's got their guilty face on. Why such guilty faces? Surely it isn't you who are responsible for this. Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. See how many people know about this secret tomb already? It's like some big secret that no one knows about, but half the people in charge of the city are just like, oh yeah, we know about it. Not a big secret after all. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Yeah, I believe... Now I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of void scent, and from this side, no man would be able to pass through. No man? I should think Alpino would fit, given a firm enough push. Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. Etheric density? You know who's got some etherically dense souls! And he succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending a simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead, I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Asdaya, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus, as the gate lay dormant for years uncounted, our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with a cloud of darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken, and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void sent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the Bounty Gate. Maybe you could resume the search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? To see if the legends were true. Ah, you have seen the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real, if not its rumored origin, but I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. Then we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Yeah, I guess. Stoll was thinking. Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Laportes will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. And I must be off to Charlene as well. Mistress Cryle is eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Farewell for now. Big. Small. We can discuss my findings once I return. You will not be rid of me so easily. Myths of the Realm. Ooh, chronicling new myths. Speak to the fresh-faced student of Baldosian Annex to accept the first quest. Cool. Alliance raid! Anyways, let's keep finishing the regular MSQ. The difficult part in all this will be deciding how to best put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Of course. Thank you, Lyra. Lyra and I are in this together. I will follow her example. We're talking. I like talking cutscenes. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Some real Organization 13 vibes. Oh, whose crest is that? That looks familiar. Is that a Zodiac thing? Oh, was this just generic void scent? It's definitely Xenos. Okay, so Xenos is back and better than ever. Right? Right? It's gotta be Xenos. Okay, forward. Sigils as a fire. Wind. Ice. So like primals? 4 basic elements. Oh no, that one's wind. Is this not Xenos? Is this someone else? I don't know these symbols. I'm not a big enough nerd. Is this like Zondi? Is this Chaos? Do we have to kill Chaos? Throne of Earth. I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. Is it Asdaya in human form? I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny port was beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yet, we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Bah! Witcher come! I will drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in her final moments. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we cede not our will to fight. 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. Spooky! I felt like real end of the patch kind of teaser trailer, but as we keep going. Shall we begin? If we to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from the monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. Lyra, you are to visit Aikiali and Yeldamound. Speak with Matsia and his people, and listen to their grievances. Estinian, I bid you do the same at Palika's stand. I'll be conducting my own inquiries at the Giant Skull grounds. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Megaduta. Okay, well, back out here to Matsia. Tank time! Everyone loves tank time. To Yanni. Laurel and Yanni. Hi, Matsuya. Oh, Lyra, I'm so glad to see you had returned unharmed. You finished with the boat, then? Yep, all done. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kazal's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I saw a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. Burb! Big yellow burb. It's big and yellow. Flying. Alright, so who else do we need to talk to here? Someone who's like right here. Owry girl, not you. The drunkmonger. Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thafnir, then you must try my special Amarillassi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally, I part with 3 bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil, but for you, I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. Stealing? At that price, you're the only thief around here. It's still not turning a I am not Estinian. Estinian? Who is this? Yeah! You're the one who is with that spear-toting fellow. Well, you can hardly blame the man for trying. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sister, spare me, we might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices, I tell you. If I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. So they just need tourism. They just need people to come in and buy their stuff. How fair is the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger has passed, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Khazal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done, God rest his soul. Okay. Okay, go here, back to Radzhan. Teleport away, teleport away. Ah, my advisor's returned. I've just made it back myself. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least, and there are few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. True. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Pelika's stand were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yedwamad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Pelika's stand has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone-waving Thavner has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacle to the flow of trade, so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akiali and Yedwamad? Much the same. People can't sell their things. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedwamad. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beasts sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Buy them all canoes and teach them how to sail. Yeah, if you remember the kid, he's so sad. The sad boy. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome, but we will not. Lyra, Stinian, I will consider the perspectives you've brought me, and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries. Talking?
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here,
Dragon yawn.
I will assume the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Kalzal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
The armor on the left there, that's awesome. I want that.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Adventurers come in and run a restoration. Ishgard restoration, Doman restoration. Taxes, levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment. Littleshire's orphanage was funded through trade in highly coveted goods. Yeah. Took a page out of what was it? Slowly?
We can draw on trading profits to build a new institution.
He basically assumed I said the first answer. The taxes one.
A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Iwan or something like that. Something with Khazal seems appropriate. Khazal's kids.
Khazal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores.
The side's still looking pretty raw there.
Object to this proposition. Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Murad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor.
Clarks.
Our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
I feel like Vitra should go visit Ishgard. Be good for him. More Popoto pancakes? Gelatin. Oh, more pancakes. Thank you for putting forth Kazal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Y'shtola. She asks that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood, thank you. Y'shtola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say, then? I will go with you. I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Iwan assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. Come on, do I actually have to go? Just teleport me there. Just cutscene teleport me. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh. That was not much of a cutscene teleport, was it? I guess their best off just going right to the Aetheryte Plaza, huh? Yeah, this is where I saw some people watching a cutscene earlier. I knew there'd be one here. I'm not talking.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Just to the point, huh?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Flashback. We did everything right, and still, it came to this.
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many Void Scent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
They're just walking around chilling.
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Scent's physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Void Scent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the Void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the Source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the Source and its reflections.
Because the 13th was like destroyed.
How do you intend to get your answers?
I guess we'll figure it out later. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV.
No. The danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the Cloud of Darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Count me in.
I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Oh, that side eye. That was a good shot.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daymir was overseeing the project.
Daymir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent?
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
Scar's favorite place to sneak around. Oh, I might have to mute myself here soon.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves. I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin. Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Voidsent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
ruins alone were impressive enough. But I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale? Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well. Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void. I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side. Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Al-Zadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Una Kalhai's spirit from his final battlefield. But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion. Silver? The adventurer who traveled with the Warriors of Light? And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns? I see. So Ciela, or rather Silver, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Una Kalhai. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then. Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, But the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy.
And I hope that you and your sister can be together again, too.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
to be swallowed, bereft of senses,